This is something of an urgent warning for any of you that are planning to travel throughout Europe in the near future, because there are two rules that are catching people out and rendering them unable to fly, in some instances being separated from their family, as a recent news report suggests one lady was separated from her family and young child because she was not allowed to travel because of one of these two rules. So I'm going to set them out very clearly for you now so that you don't get caught up in these two restrictions. So as an advocate, I'll start with the conclusion, as I usually do, and then explain why it's important. So the conclusion is you must check your passport and the date it was issued and renew it as soon as possible if necessary, based on these two conditions. If you're travelling throughout Europe as a non-EU citizen, your passport must have been issued, firstly, within the last 10 years, otherwise you won't be able to travel, and I'll explain why that's important in a minute. And secondly, you must have at least 3 months left on your passport the day after you travel to be eligible to travel throughout Europe. Why is this a problem? Well, because some passports that are valid for more than 10 years, meaning you might have another year left on your passport, but it wasn't issued within the last 10 years, then you might be prevented from flying. So as silly as this sounds, you might check your passport and see that you have up to 12 months left on it. Therefore, you think you're perfectly fine to fly in a couple of months' time. That won't be the case if your passport was at that point of travel not issued within the last 10 years. So if it was issued 10.5 years ago, you'll be prevented from travelling into Europe. So says the European Commission that have come up with these two rules. Now, if you've watched my videos for a while, you know that I've spoken about European law on a number of occasions. As one very small caveat, this 10-year requirement doesn't extend into the duration of your intended stay. It is enough that that condition is fulfilled at the moment of entry. Many people might be wondering why there is additional time on passports in the first place, because they are normally issued for 10 years. The difference comes about because for many years, people that were renewing their passports were doing so before the previous one expired, and they were able to add any additional time remaining on that passport onto their new one. And if it's any consolation, the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office says that it is seeking clarification from the European Commission about these rules. The government website tells you that you should check the rules of entry for the specific country that you are entering, stating that for some Schengen countries, your passport may need to be less than 10 years old during your whole visit, and that the 3 months at the end of your visit may need to be within 10 years of your passport's issue date. So if you're going to travel, please check your passport and check the rules. And if you know someone that's going to travel and you don't want them to get stuck at the airport and separated from their family, please share this video and make sure they check their passport as well. Make sure they also like and subscribe, because I know you will, and thank you for watching.